Ancient Egypt was never just pyramids and pharaohs. That's what they want you to believe. From the moment you first saw those impossible structures, they told you it was tombs, treasures, and slave labor. A primitive culture obsessed with death. A coincidence, not a cover-up. But what if everything you were taught about Egypt was deliberately simplified? What if the real ancient Egypt was the remnant of the most advanced spiritual civilization this planet has ever known? They told you the pyramids were built with ramps and copper tools. What they didn't tell you is that they were energy devices, frequency machines, and initiation chambers built by beings who had mastered consciousness itself. A knowledge deliberately hidden beneath centuries of distortion, tourism, and academic dogma. This isn't about mummies and monuments. It's about a forgotten frequency that is now returning. And if you're here, something deep inside you already feels it. The word Egypt alone carries an electric charge. You felt it when you looked at the Sphinx, when you saw those 80-ton granite boxes cut with laser-like precision, when something inside whispered, "This official story doesn't add up." You've heard the timeline, 4,500 years ago, men with ropes and enthusiasm. But what if that timeline is the actual lie? What if dynastic Egypt was only the final declining chapter, not the golden age? What if the pyramids, temples, and obelisks were inherited from a far older civilization that already understood acoustic levitation, free energy from the ether, and the technology of pure consciousness? The real technology of ancient Egypt wasn't bronze tools. It was sound that made multi-ton stones weightless. It was geometry that pulled limitless energy from the vacuum. It was crystalline systems that amplified intention itself. The Great Pyramid was never a tomb. It was a resonance instrument tuned to the Earth's heartbeat. The Sphinx originally had a lion's head and marked an age 12,000 years older than we're told. The temples were not churches. They were acoustic chambers where specific frequencies triggered DNA activation, past life memory, and direct contact with higher intelligence. The proof is carved in stone we still can't replicate. Granite vaults cut with angles accurate to fractions of a millimeter. Corridors aligned to stars that were in position 10,000 years before the supposed builders existed. Water erosion on the Sphinx enclosure proves it stood through an epoch of heavy rainfall that ended around 10,000 BC. Mainstream Egyptologists simply ignores it because it destroys their entire timeline. They found underground chambers filled with pure quartz sand, the same material used today in semiconductors. Coincidence? Or evidence of a global energy grid we were never meant to rediscover? The ancients spoke of Neteru, not gods in the sky, but beings of pure frequency who taught humanity how to become the same. They left blueprints in stone because they knew one day we would remember. That day is now. If you feel an unexplainable pull toward Egypt, if hieroglyphs you can't read bring tears, if you dream of walking those halls in a body that feels like home, you are not crazy. You are remembering. You are one of the souls who were there when this knowledge was alive. You came back at this exact moment to help bring it back. Because we are repeating the same cycle. We have the technology again, but we've forgotten the wisdom. We split atoms while our hearts stay closed. We build machines while our spirits starve. Ancient Egypt didn't fall because of war or climate. It fell when the priests hid the keys. When power replaced service. When the few decided the many weren't ready. The same choice stands in front of us right now. Remember and rise, or forget and repeat the collapse. The pyramids are still broadcasting. The frequency never left. It's been waiting inside you. The pyramids are still standing because they were built to last until we were ready. They are not ruins. They are time capsules waiting for the frequency of humanity to rise high enough to reactivate them. Every precise measurement, every golden ratio, every alignment to Orion and Sirius was a message: you were once greater than this. Remember and become it again. The obelisks were not monuments to ego. They were quartz antennas pulling cosmic energy into the grid. The temples were sound healing chambers where disease disappeared in minutes. The hieroglyphs are not just writing. They are vibrational codes. When spoken with the correct tone, they open doorways in consciousness. That is why they were later forbidden to be pronounced aloud. The Serapeum boxes, 80-ton granite chests hollowed with perfect right angles, were never for bulls. They were resonance chambers for initiating the highest adepts into immortality frequencies. Underground tunnels stretch from Giza to the Red Sea and beyond. They found them. They sealed them. Because what's down there would end every religion and every control system overnight. The gods walked among men not as rulers, but as teachers. They taught levitation, manifestation, healing with hands, and how to step outside of time. Then humanity chose worship over practice. When the knowledge became dangerous to the new priest class, they did exactly what is being done today: they called it myth, burned the books, killed the rememberers, and rewrote history. But stone doesn't lie. The precision doesn't lie. The erosion doesn't lie. Your soul doesn't lie when it recognizes home. You feel it because you were there. Maybe as a builder, maybe as a priestess, maybe as a star being who helped seed this civilization. This lifetime you came back to finish what was started. The return of this knowledge is not coming from inside people, not from excavations. The activation happens when you hear certain frequencies, see certain geometry, or simply remember in a dream. That ache in your chest when you see the pyramids is not nostalgia. It is recognition. Your DNA is lighting up like a Christmas tree because it recognizes its own architecture. The same power that raised those stones is waking up in your spine right now. The Kundalini the yogis speak of is the same force the Egyptians called the Ka, the fire serpent coiled at the base. When enough of us remember, the grid reactivates. Not through governments or announcements. Through collective resonance. Through people quietly living the truth again. You don't need to move to Egypt. You don't need to wear linen or burn incense. You need to remember that your body is the temple, your voice is the tuning fork, your heart is the capstone. Every time you choose truth over comfort, alignment over distraction, love over fear, you are rebuilding the real Egypt inside the collective field. This is why you feel like you never belonged in this era. Because you don't. You belong to the timeline where humanity was sovereign, immortal, and in harmony with the stars. The fall of Egypt was not the end. It was a pause. A long winter. And spring is here. You are the proof. Your remembrance is the key. Look how obsessed the world still is with Egypt thousands of years later. Pyramids on every currency, obelisks in every capital, Hollywood can't stop making movies. The frequency is calling itself back. They can hide the tunnels, they can fake the carbon dating, they can laugh at conspiracy theorists, but they cannot stop your cells from recognizing truth when they hear it. The real Egypt never died. It went dormant waiting for hearts pure enough and frequencies high enough to carry it again. And that frequency is rising faster than ever right now. You are not here to worship the past. You are here to embody it. To walk like they walked. To see like they saw. To create reality with intention like they did. The new Egypt will not be built with stone. It will be built with awakened consciousness. And it is already rising, in you, in millions like you who feel the call and can't ignore it anymore. Every time you meditate and feel energy move, every time you speak a mantra and reality shifts, every time you heal yourself or another with pure intention, you are turning the key. The pyramids are counting down. Not to destruction, but to reactivation. When the collective vibration reaches the required level, the capstone returns, not physically, but energetically. You will feel it in your body first. A sudden knowing. A flood of memory. Abilities returning that you didn't learn in this life. That is the moment the game changes. This is not fantasy. This is memory returning. This is why you cried watching a documentary. This is why certain music makes you levitate inside. This is why Egypt haunts your dreams. You didn't choose Egypt. Egypt chose you. And it is choosing millions right now because the time of hiding is over. The knowledge was never lost. It was protected until humanity grew up enough not to weaponize it again. That moment is now. Feel it in your bones, the golden age is not coming. It is remembering itself through us. You are the living proof that the experiment worked. The souls who built Giza are the same souls watching this video right now. The circle is closing. The frequency is rising. The veil is thinning. And you are right on time. You don't need permission. You don't need a guru. You don't need another course. The entire library of Egypt is encoded in your light body. All you have to do is remember how to read it. And you are already doing it by being here, by feeling this, by refusing to accept the small story any longer. The real capstone was never missing. It was waiting inside of you. Place it now. Claim your power. Speak your truth. Live as the gods you once were. Because when enough of us do, the pyramids will light up again. Not for show. But as proof that we have remembered who we really are. This is not the end of the video. This is the beginning of the return. You are the return. If this reached your soul and you know exactly what to do next, write in the comments, I remember. And watch how fast the frequency spreads.